Hey there, my friend. We're going to talk about momentum today because momentum builds when your fitness goals stop living in your head and they start living in your day. A lot of times we let those conditions and everything swim in our head, don't we? And many people, they set a goal for the year. We're at the beginning of the year, so happy new year to you. They set a goal for the year and really feel confident about it. I don't know. How about you? Do you set goals for the year? Maybe you don't call them resolutions. I know some people get weird about that. You know what? I love goal setting every quarter. So this for us, it's the beginning of a new quarter. But people know what they want. They even know the steps that they want to take. The problem is, a few weeks down the line, when life creeps in and starts to fill the gaps a little bit, work gets busy, energy drops, decisions pile up, the goal still stays the same. I want to get in shape. I want to lose some weight, but the daily behaviors start to drift. We even maybe start to get bored with things, and we just haven't gotten to the routine, and we start to move the start date farther and farther back. And when the progress stalls, maybe we've even gotten some progress along the way. People, when the progress starts or begins to stall, people often add more effort, more workouts. They set more rules for themselves, more pressure. I know I've done this over the years, and the approach usually breaks down. That's what happens. Pressure, it holds when the plan is, well, the pressure really holds on to, for a lot of people, it's just the things that we just add on along the way because we haven't built in any consistency and we haven't simplified. I'm going to talk about some simplification things today. And if you can look at progress when you build it from the end backwards, that means, some people might call it reverse engineering. Let's take the thing is, by the end of this year, I want to achieve this. This could be any goal, but let's say a weight loss goal. We start looking at it and building backwards. What are the routines needed for that to happen? And it's really anchored in the routines that already exist for yourself. And hey, I almost forgot, and I want to tell you before we move forward, if you do want help building your fitness goals that really keep you from letting it swim in your head to something that you take action on with your real schedule instead of fighting it, head over to talktoperry.com. I'm going to pop that down in the lower third. That's going to help you connect to your daily actions with, for the long-term results. I'm even talking beyond this next year, without adding more stress or anything to it. It's just, you're going to feel amazing. That's over at talktoperry.com. Long-term results, the fitness success, it's really going to start by getting clear on what the finish line actually requires. Many people don't get clear on that. So take the time, get clear. What does, let's say, I want to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. What does that require? Well, Perry, you got to lose some weight. You know what? You got to look at the behaviors of somebody who has lost the 50 pounds and start living by that already. Person who moves regularly, even on busy days. A person who doesn't negotiate their workouts. See, I'm retelling my story here because that's what it was. When I had the big goal, I found myself negotiating, trying to talk myself out of workouts, trying to put it off and make up for it the next day. The person that is me now that I wanted to be in shape, that person doesn't negotiate. Doesn't say, well, when should I get this done? I built a routine. Is it a person that eats in a way that supports energy without having to think about it all day? A person that's doing some meal prepping. The behaviors aren't dramatic. It's just building consistency and keeping them very, very simple with your life. Once that picture is clear, and there are a lot of people, like I said, that don't get clear, that soft, fluffy goals. I just want to lose some weight and get in shape. They don't know what that means. They don't know what the behaviors are to do that because it's a very foggy goal. So they don't take the action necessary on it. They dabble and then can justify getting off course and I went off track for a couple weeks. I'll get back to it someday maybe, and they really don't because they never get clear. So ask yourself, what does a strong month look like? What does a solid week require? What has to happen on a normal day for that outcome of your week and your month to stay on track? That's where a lot of people go wrong. They design plans for the ideal week instead of what real life is going on. And the ideal the ideal week rarely shows up. So I can look at my calendar and know I have so many elements going on, and that there might be some other variables that I hadn't considered that just come up, and I'm still going to show up for my workout. I realized I was negotiating with myself on my hour commute after a long day of teaching, to where I realized I'm not showing up for my workout. I'm telling myself I need to get home, unwind after the day so I hopefully get motivated, and I never did. So I'm like, I'm getting rid of that time of where I've got to unwind, and I'm going to wind it up. I get home, workout clothes get on, workout gets started. And on those days where it was busy, chaotic, not feeling it, whatever, my commitment was I have to at least get into action and exercise for at least 15 minutes of that workout for the day. If by the end of 15 minutes I've got to move on, at least I'm saying I showed up. And that was it. That's what built the momentum and the consistency. I wasn't locked into thinking 15 minutes a day is going to put me super healthy and in shape. I looked at it as 15 minutes is going to get me into momentum. And almost every time I got to the 15-minute mark, I kept going. I finished the workout. Real weeks, they include low energy, late days, stress, missed workouts. That happens. But the progress, it's really going to hold up when you built on what is already happening around you. Coffee every morning, you can add movement around there. Doing squats, doing calf raisers. If your energy, let's say the evening is packed, you're train that earlier. A friend of mine who was really, she was in knee deep in tax season, always told me, man, by the time she hit work, it was late days. I'm like, well, you want to get this goal. When do you have the most control? Can you work out in the morning? Oh, no. I got to exercise. I can't do that in the morning. I need my sleep. I'm like, let's just break it down. For the next 30 days, you get up 30 minutes earlier and just do 20 minutes of exercise. Next 30 days, let's see where it goes. She found that kicked in some momentum that she just kept going. She got through tax season. She got through her day really, really easily. Feeling better, more energized. She's losing weight. She's getting more energy. You have to look at yourself. What does it mean for you? Is if the weekends are unpredictable, then adjust your plan, but keep showing up. Just this approach that I'm sharing with you, it removes the friction. It removes the indecision stuff. Benchmarks matter. Not for pressure, but, you look at, instead of just looking always at the scale, is my strength improving? Is my recovery faster? Can I walk up the stairs now with less being less winded? Energy, do I have that throughout the day? Do I not have the morning, the midday crash sort of thing? I even noticed that I wouldn't pull muscles. I would pull a neck muscle just adjusting my head on a pillow. That stuff was going away. Clothing started fitting differently. Those markers, they tell you that the system's working. That's progress. Okay? And that should keep you away from any frustration. A lot of people, they wait for the visible results before they even believe that they can stay on track. Where if you just go with little benchmarks, the end of the year, I want to reach this. So benchmark number 1 is, what do I have to accomplish in January? What does my ideal month look? Not ideal. What's required in my month? What would that week look like? And then what should my daily routine? And then you can be flexible on it, but still show up. So stack behaviors in a way that keeps supporting your momentum. Because that movement, exercise is going to be better sleep. The better sleep means better food choices usually. And those sort of things fuel your workouts. So it's really connecting those things that overpowers intensity all along here. Even just not trying to overhaul everything. That usually fails, but building behaviors that support each other, that can create really great stability. Flexibility in your schedule. Life happens, travels happen, all these other things. See, that's where a lot of people I know get off track. They're like, yeah, I want to work out, but I've got a vacation coming up in a couple weeks, and I want to commit from day one right away, and I don't want to start something that I can't commit to. I'm like, why not figure that out? Commit for these 2 weeks and do some things on vacation and continue afterwards. That's going to help you overcome every single obstacle along the way, as opposed to I am really, really good at recognizing there's an obstacle and procrastinating my results. My gosh, I'm getting on a soapbox. That's how people stay consistent for years instead of months. Fitness goals that are here to last, built on structure. And when your actions are attached to real routines, and they're guided through benchmarks, well, your progress becomes predictable, right? So results stop slipping because the system supports what you're going after. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway. You can drop those down in the comments. I promise I will reply. I absolutely adore you. I am so grateful that you come on here. Happy New Year to you, because that's when I'm recording this. If you're watching this in June, happy June to you, whatever. But you absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness Community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find the show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.